open data in New York City. There's a website that I helped create here that organizes all the summonses. We've been asking for this for more than a decade, and now New York City actually gets to see all these quality of life or summonses by the police. And one of the things that is helpful is to know where this summons is given out, right? But if you look at the details of the information, there's thousands given out in one location. So what is the chances of thousands of alcohol summonses given out in one location? Pretty low, right? I mean, unless they're just grouping together. So let's zoom in on this map, which is available on the website, taxpayers of New York.com, .brooklyncoop.org, tony.brooklyncoop.org. You can go here, tony.brooklyncoop.org, and just search around because there's a lot of pages there. But what we'll see is it shows a map of every single location, and you can see that lots of them are given out at a particular spot, right? Let's say Union Square or at the intersection of so-and-so and so-and-so. But here it's showing thousands. The numbers, it's just showing ones that are over 500. So if we zoom in on these locations, you could see the heat map is every single summons given out, right? And it appears that if a summons is given out and the person has ID and the officer is working properly, they use the location where the summons was given. But if, maybe this is just a theory, if the person doesn't have ID or doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't give ID or doesn't, then it appears they're arrested, right? And then the summons seems to appear at the precinct. Well, that doesn't make any sense. It should be where the summons was given out. That was the whole point of organizing this information. So we're zooming in on here, and let's see what we see. Oh, a hotel. And there's a firehouse. So usually where there's a firehouse, there's also, yeah, there it is, precinct 17, right? So let's zoom in on that so you can see. See, there's, how in the world could there be 1,000 summonses given out at that location? That just doesn't make any sense because all the others are at a, in the 10s and 20s, right? So 1,000 just means they're just doing the bare minimum. And look at this, we're a little bit off from that location. There's another one. That doesn't make any sense. So if we zoom out, we can see that, there's a lot of hot spots. You see, that's actual real summonses being given out with an actual location. But it appears as if if they forget to give the location or mark down the location, they have to put it on the summons, right? So there has to be a location where it happens. I doubt that everybody's drinking alcohol right in front of the precinct. Why in the world would? Because the number one crime, quote unquote crime, is possession of alcohol or consumption of alcohol. Unlawful. This is 60,000 of them. This is what our officers, instead of looking for murderers, people are murdered in the street in broad daylight, right? Instead of looking for them, we're giving out possession of alcohol. Now, how does a person buy alcohol at the store and bring it home? Isn't that illegal possession, unlawful possession of alcohol? I don't understand it. I guess you have to show the alcohol. And why would anybody show the alcohol? So here's another one, 2,000 at this location. Now, if all of these are precincts, then that means that our wonderful open data or open data laws are not effective, right? Because the whole point of this was to show where the actual summons is given out, not some generic location like Midtown North Precinct, right? You can see it right there. There it is, Midtown North. So I guess I can just use my hands here and zoom out and zoom in. And look at this. There's some enormous numbers, I'm sure, in Central Park. There's a precinct there, right? That's definitely a precinct because we know Central Park, of all the parks, it has its own precinct. I guess they don't even mark that there's a precinct there. I guess it's a secret precinct. But if you zoom in and zoom out of here, all these numbers are precincts. Now, I wonder why some precincts have enormously large numbers and some don't. Let's see, there's got to be a precinct near here. You would think 700. There's a Hispanic hospital. That'd be strange if there was no precinct here, but that's probably a precinct. Yeah. Some of these things are not well labeled, so let's just assume there's a precinct on 102nd Street, right? It's strange how Google doesn't always show. Oh, there it is, 23rd Precinct. 23rd Precinct Police. So even their GPS coordinates are a little messed up. I don't get it. Why if the precinct is at the end of the block, why is they're marking it over here? I don't know. Maybe Mapbox is having issues. Who knows? But this is straight from their data, right? George Washington houses. So let's zoom out and take an overview of all the numbers. And it might be hard to see on this little screens, but I'll just read them out. There's 2,000 over here so this is a good thing for tourists to know and bikers to know. This is where they're giving out bike tickets. They're giving out, they make money off. People tell me, oh, they make money off of it. I don't know. I think these nuisance tickets or these quality of life tickets probably cost the city, but you know what? The city doesn't care. All these employees love this busy work, right? So here is, and I guess quality of life is important. We don't want graffiti. That should be a quality of life. We don't want people, unfortunate people living in the street, camping out in the street, and things like that. We want good, these police officers could be helping people. So here's a 3,000. That's obviously a precinct. And this is a very productive precinct right next to the New Yorker. And there's got to be a precinct here somewhere. And yeah, Google doesn't label every Penn Station. I don't think it labels every precinct. Manhattan Center, the New Yorker is there. But on 35th Street, there's got to be a precinct. Google's not very good at labeling everything, but that's an enormous number compared to the others. This is the data from 2023. Finally, we get all this summons data. So let's zoom out and look for other numbers. There it is, 3,000. There's 1,000 over here. I'll just point at it. There is another precinct here, 500, 800, obviously. This is just laziness in reporting, right? I wonder if there's some enormous number here. I guess this is supposedly police headquarters. I guess they don't bring any quality of life people here. They don't bring them there. Anyway, so let's go to Brooklyn. Let's see what's happening in Brooklyn. You would think, see, there's a precinct here, 1,300. There's 800, 500. I guess there's less people out here maybe, so maybe that's why there's less quality of life issues. And over here, there's Prospect Heights, which is a pocket of quietness, as we've pointed out before. And look at that. That must be less than 500 because this thing is actually labeling anything over 500. So now we go along here. There's a 1,100. That's a precinct. Oh, I guess these numbers are lower. So I arbitrarily, and look at this. Whoa. This is almost one of the records here. Newkirk, that's definitely a precinct. I wonder, Google's probably smart enough to label that precinct. Oh, that's interesting. It's not even, that's the 70th precinct. I think that one's famous in some, the 75th and the 70th. I think those are famous from the, whatever, the 75th. I don't even want to look where that is. But here's, and the real heat maps that show the, without a number, those are probably real because those are smaller numbers in the 20s and less than 100, less than 500. So this is showing where they're giving all these alcohol tickets. And let's just go in here. Yeah, see the precincts. This just shows that our law that says Freedom of Information Act request and is being you processed with the bare minimum of effort, right? Because just putting some default value in there. The whole point of data is if you have garbage in, you've got garbage out, right? And to think that all these summonses are happening at the precinct seems, at these police precincts, seems just incredible. There's no reasonable person would think that thousands and thousands of people are drinking alcohol right in front of the precinct saying, "Hi, please arrest me." They're probably being taken there. Anyway, the point is, I know these representatives are not useful. Maybe tie together, join the mailing list, do something, go on Reddit. There's NYC Bikes in Reddit. There's Nextdoor. There's I don't know. There's YouTube. Put comments. If you are serious, join your community board. Or I've tried, and it's almost impossible to make any headway there. But if eventually it's going to happen, right? The younger generation. Let's try and hope and pray. Talk to the younger people. I'm sure you're a younger person listening. Comment, connect, and basically use this map to avoid these dangerous areas, because these areas are filled with the police aren't there just for the fun of it. They're there to try to give out tickets, right? And you can see Brooklyn is just a sea of red, and actually Queens is a lot cleaner. I think this area here is mostly cemeteries, and you can see from here where the issues are, right? And Central Park has some pocket because people are not getting summonses in the middle of the lawn. And the Bronx is just filled with issues. Filled. Where's the quiet places in the Bronx? South Bronx, let's look. Actually, the South Bronx is not as bad as... And do they even have precincts up here in the Bronx? Yeah, they do, but they're very small. Small numbers. Look at that. Wow. Inwood Park. So this is still part of Manhattan. But you gotta say, look at all this redness. Even Riverdale? Yeah, I guess so. Oh no, Riverdale has nothing. Where does Tibbet and Van Cortlandt Stadium? Yeah. Oh, so this probably also Van Cortlandt Park. Oh yes, so there is. So this corner of New York City doesn't have many quality of life tickets. So that must mean something. Where do they? Oh yeah, they all start here. Because basically, the police want to be as efficient as possible, and obviously, if there's no people, they don't want to hang out there and try to give out alcohol tickets because the probability of someone being there is low. So they only hang out where there's people. So of course, this city should focus on important issues like murders in the street, right? That should be our focus. We shouldn't be wasting time looking for a person that has alcohol in their pocket. Now, if they're drunk and they're going to hurt themselves, try to help them, right? And how did it become illegal to have marijuana but not alcohol? I don't know. How do you, again, going back to the question, how do you bring alcohol home? If you bought alcohol at the store and you bring it home, is that unlawful possession? Who knows? Anyway, peace out.